Hello everyone, welcome to another video and welcome to a series which I'm going to call Sim Racing Made Simple. Now this is going to be a series of videos all under 5 minutes long with some tips and tricks which will hopefully help you guys out. Now there's no messing around in these videos, it's straight to the nuts and bolts. The first thing we're going to talk about is brake bias. So what is brake bias? Well, brake bias is a percentage number which tells you how much braking is done by the front tyres and how much braking is done by the rear tyres. The higher the number, the more braking at the front. The lower the number, the more braking at the rear. Generally, the higher the number, the car is going to be much more stable on turning when you're trail braking. The exact opposite with a lower number, well, it's going to be more keen to over-rotate. But when you've got a higher number, if you've got more braking done at the front, well, your braking performance isn't going to be as good as it would be, say, for example, if you had 50-50 braking. And that's why sometimes you can see certain drivers changing their brake bias multiple times per lap. So for example, at the hairpin at Hockenheim, it's a really long straight followed by a really heavy braking area in a straight line. So at that point, I would lower my brake bias. In the Porsche, I might go down to 48%, which means more braking is done by the rear. But because of the weight transfer of the vehicle, the front end is pushed in, so it kind of balances itself out. But on the faster right turn towards the end of the lap, I would raise my brake bias because you are braking and turning at the same time. It's quite high speed and you're running over a little bit of curb. So you want the car nice and stable. If you don't, then there's a good chance the car will over-rotate and you'll spin out. Take Daytona, for example. I did a recent race in the Ferrari at Daytona. For the majority of the lap, my brake bias was at 50.4%, so pretty much 50-50 braking, although at the bus stop, I always raised it to about 52.5. That just meant it was a lot more stable on turning. As soon as I got past the bus stop, it was right back down to 50.4. So to summarise, if you're asking the car to do one thing, braking in a straight line towards a hairpin, for example, lower your brake bias, you will get much better braking performance. But if you're asking the car to do more than one thing, as in steer and brake, well, you might need a higher brake bias just to keep the car nice and stable. It's all about trial and error, practicing. So don't be afraid in practice to adjust your brake bias multiple times per lap just to see what works for you. So hopefully this makes brake bias a little bit easier to understand. So let me know down below in the comments what you would like to see in this series of videos. I do have some ideas which I'm going to cover, but let me know in the comments what you want. As always, thanks for watching. See you later. Cheers.